The whole Armenian diaspora was also disturbed. Numerous meetings and demonstrations took place in Los Angeles, New York, Washington, Paris, Montreal, Toronto, Athens, Buenos Aires, Beirut, Sydney, and other foreign cities. However, the center was firm and inexorable. Encouraged by the indifference of the central authorities, Azerbaijani authorities continued the policy of crime and terror. The bloody hand of the enemy also reached Karabakh. With the support of military dictatorships, the region was governed by colonial rule, created by the Republican Organizational Committee chaired by Polyanichko and Safonov. Through May-June 1991, the Special Azeri Armed Detachment, or OMON, together with the troops of the Soviet Army, carried out a military operation called Koltso, Russian for circle. They attacked the sub-district of Gedashen and the villages of Shauman district with tanks, armored cars, and military helicopters, and destroyed the Armenian settlements. The next step in completing the plans of Azeri leadership to cleanse the Armenians of their historic land and to finally own the territories of Artsakh was the annihilation of the Armenians from the Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Region. In June 1991, the enemy even to the ground more than 20 villages of Martakert and Hadrut. Hundreds of women, children, and old men fell victim to their violence. More than 700 people, mostly young and middle-aged men, were taken as captives and then tortured in Azerbaijani prisons. Thousands of people had to leave the land of their ancestors. The Armenians of Artsakh, having lost all hopes of receiving help from outside, took up arms in order to decide their fates on their own. Thus, the first volunteer groups were formed, and they soon duly counterattacked the enemy in Shauman, Gedashen, and mountainous Karabakh. But unfortunately, the Armenians suffered heavy losses, among them Tatul Kirpeyan, Simon Achigozyan, Vladimir Balayan, Leonid Azgaldian, Ashot Ghulan, Montemelkonyan. The sacred blood they shed on their homeland made it more precious, and people struggling for freedom became more firm and inexorable. On September 2nd, 1991, a joint conference of People's Deputies of Nagorno-Karabakh Regional and Shauman District Councils took place, where the declaration on the proclamation of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic was adopted. In all their attempts of reviving their statehood, the Armenians of Artsakh acted in line with the constitution of the USSR and all the norms of the international law. On December 10, 1991, a popular referendum was held. 99.89% of the population said yes to the proclamation of the Independent Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh. The first elections to the Supreme Council of the NKR were held late in 1991. On January 8, 1992, 33-year-old Arthur Makartyan was elected the first chairman of the NKR Supreme Council. The leaders of Azerbaijan were enraged by all these events, and again, one could already feel the breath of the imminent wide-scale war. In the late 1991, it started an open war against the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh. The rapid development of events made it clear that in order to fight efficiently against the enemy, it was necessary to create a single, strong army, uniting the separate detachments of Fedayins. In a short period, the region was freed from the Azeri settlements that served as weapon emplacements located around Stepanakert. The severe fights ended with the liberation of Shushi on May 9, 1992, and the opening of the humanitarian corridor of Lachin. From June 12, using the forces of the 4th Soviet Army, centered in Ganja, the Azeri detachment managed to take the whole of Shauman district, a large part of Martakert district, and a number of villages of Askeran district. Recovering from that sudden blow, the self-defenders of Artsakh managed to recapture many lands and villages that they had lost. From March 27th to the end of August 1993, Karabakh forces exerted such a pressure upon the enemy that it had to flee from the regions of Lachin, Kerbajar, Akhdam, Fizuli, Jebrail, Kubatli, and Zangilan. The Artsakhis were very resolute in their fight and believed in their victory, so the authorities of Azerbaijan had to sit at the negotiation table. Negotiations ended with the signing of armistice on May 14, 1994. The Karabakh conflict entered a new phase, that of peaceful negotiations. As a result of military operations, 85% of the industrial enterprises, the considerable part of electricity and communication lines, housing sector, hundreds of buildings in social welfare, educational, cultural, and health sectors were ruined. The country, which was in complete blockade, was to heal its wounds and then keep pace with the political and economic processes of the world. In the period from 1994 to 2007, 4 presidential and 4 parliamentary elections were held. In 1994, Robert Kocharian became the first elected president of the NKR. Arkady Gukasyan was elected in 1997 and then 2002, and Bako Sahakian won the presidential elections in 2007. Amidst the ruins, new schools and cultural centers rose. It was necessary to solve the current problems of the thousands of forcefully displaced migrants from Azerbaijan. All of this was impossible to imagine without the moral, political, financial support of Armenia and the Armenians of the world. Hundreds of kilometers of roads, tens of schools, cultural centers were built with the support of diaspora. An army was formed, which is considered to be one of the strongest in the post-Soviet area. It became the main and reliable guarantor of the security of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic and its people. New industrial enterprises opened. The Armenians of Artsakh, who have gained their freedom and independence with the power of their arms, now sustain it with a peaceful and creative work. However, this is not the last resort of the dreams of Artsakh people. They would like the NKR to be an island of peace and prosperity on the map of the world. On December 10, 2006, they confirmed this by saying yes to the Constitution of the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh. The unwreckable ship of Artsakh people has crossed the stormy ocean, fought against evil and enemies, and reached the harbor of the 21st century, which is a heaven for opening new horizons. On its way of building a new statehood, it overcomes the obvious and unknown difficulties. The NKR asks the world powers to have a fair trial of its problem and to recognize its independence. Today, the Armenians of Artsakh, with their peaceful and creative work, try to have a share in the universal values and want to feel themselves the inextricable part of the global community.